Hello there. Today I'll be showing you how to recreate Blue Leader, an X-Wing, and the U-Wing belonging to Blue Squadron from Rogue One using the Bandai 1 to 144 scale model kits. Seeing these ships above and on Scarif was amazing, and I felt like I was watching A New Hope for the first time again. These kits are super fun and simple to put together, so let's get started. For context, the X-Wing kit only comes with one ship, so I'll be using two today. Inside, you'll find instructions on the inside of the box, and your runners and decals. We'll start by cutting the pieces from the runner. I'm using a hobby knife to whittle away any impurities. I did this to all the pieces and dry fit the whole kit to get an idea of how it functioned. I took the kit back apart and superglued the four engines together, as well as these weird flaps on the inside of the wings. I masked the X-Wings off-screen, starting with the blue paint. The gray plastic is a perfect base color and it accepts the paint fairly well. I apply a few coats of blue paint where needed, let it all dry, and then I remove the tape. Using some toothpicks or metal tweezers, I add in paint chipping and remove any spare paint. I then hand painted the number call signs onto the wings. Using a tan paint, I color some more panels on the wings and body, bringing up the monotony of the gray. I use yellow paint for the rings on the blasters. And for the cockpit, I use a base coat of black all over. I then followed that up with a grayish-blue mix. I added gray paint to the engines and top and back details, with a little bit to the body here and there. I also added that same gray to the inner engines, and the same bluish gray from the cockpit to the exposed wing parts. I used super glue to the engines and blasters to the wings, and the cockpit to the upper body, but nothing else is glued down. I applied a black wash to the entire model, focusing heavily on the engines and details, letting the thin paint soak into the gaps. I then lightly dry brushed some of the areas, mainly the wings and engines, to simulate damage and burn marks. Lastly, I painted the astromech on Anton Merrick's X-Wing, a chrome head with a red body. For the other X-Wing, Blue 3, I just made up an astromech with a green head and yellow body. Setting these pieces aside, let's start on the gunship. The U-Wing comes in a kit with the TIE Striker and 2 hover tanks, which we'll visit in a future video. Probably. The U-Wing comes with Cassian Andor and K2SO as her pilots, but since the X-Wing cockpits from earlier weren't see-through, and the U-Wing is actually a repaint from years ago, we won't be able to see our 2 heroes. There is a small window on the underbelly, however, so we'll just barely be able to see them. I dry fit the kit. Mask for Blue. Paint the Blue. Strip the tape and do a little weathering. Freehand the tan paint and then repeat with the yellow, which this ship has a lot more yellow than the X-Wings. I add back in some of the paint chipping with my tweezers, and after that we'll move on to our pilots. Following some reference images, I got them all painted up. And I also got the seats and consoles painted. I didn't go too detailed because you really won't be able to see them. I washed the wings and body with a thinned down black paint, making sure to really get into the panel lines. I also went pretty heavily on the engines and vent areas. When dry brushing, I did the same by focusing a little bit more on where the wings fold into the body. And also off camera, I dry brushed some metallic gray onto the blasters, thrusters, and vents. Now all three of our ships are ready for protective clear coats. I'll be using a matte clear. And once that is done, you might notice that the window pieces on the underbelly of the U-wing turn a frosty, opaque, kind of from the clear coat. Now, I actually did that on purpose since this is specifically Blue Squadron's ship and not Andor's. If you want your windows to remain clear, either mask them before spraying or just don't include them. Also make sure not to super glue the cover on the very bottom of the ship, as that's where the stand hooks into. After that, I got the ships all glued and put together. And here you have our Rebel Fighter Squad from Rogue One. These ships were an absolute blast to put together, and I can't wait to include them in future projects. Maybe next to an AT-ACT and a TIE Striker, but that's a video for another day. The wings on all three ships do all function too. Please like and subscribe to support my work, let me know what you'd like to see next, and visit my Instagram to see more content like this. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.